Did you know that some of Hollywood's most beloved stars, the ones you cheer for on screen, were absolute nightmares behind the scenes? From explosive tantrums to shocking disrespect, their real-life behavior tells a very different story. In today's video, we're exposing 10 A-list actors whose true personalities may leave you stunned. Get ready for scandals, unexpected transformations, and the hidden truths behind Hollywood's perfectly polished images. Let's start with a celebrity whose public image has changed more dramatically than almost anyone else in Hollywood. Gwyneth Paltrow. She was once seen as America's sweetheart, charming, relatable, and effortlessly elegant. But over the years, that image has shifted, and not because of her movies. What really sparked the backlash was who she became off-screen. Much of the controversy surrounds her lifestyle brand, Goop, where she promotes extreme wellness trends, restrictive diets, and detox philosophies. Nutrition and health experts have repeatedly warned that these ideas can encourage unhealthy relationships with food and normalize disordered eating. Some former friends have even joked that she turned an eating disorder into a business, fueling the belief that her advice is completely disconnected from real life. She's also been criticized for comments many Americans found tone-deaf, including suggesting that being a celebrity mom is harder than working a regular job. Over time, stories of cold or aloof behavior in public only reinforced the idea that she lives in a privileged bubble. Despite all the criticism, Paltrow hasn't backed down. She continues running Goop, hosting wellness events, and acting occasionally. Her story shows how fast Hollywood's favorite star can become one of its most controversial figures. And we're just getting started. Now let's turn to a star whose megawatt smile and unforgettable roles helped define her as America's sweetheart, yet whose off-screen reputation hasn't always lived up to that image. Julia Roberts. Best known for classics like Pretty Woman and My Best Friend's Wedding, Roberts has charmed audiences for decades. But behind the scenes, her story has often been more complicated. During the filming of Hook in 1991, reports surfaced that Roberts was difficult to work with, earning her the harsh nickname Tinker Hell from members of the crew. Director Steven Spielberg later acknowledged the tension, saying, "It was not a great time for Julia and I to be working together." At the same time, her personal life was in turmoil. Her very public breakup with Kiefer Sutherland reportedly took an emotional toll and may have contributed to on-set friction. Over the years, rumors of clashes with co-stars like Nick Nolte and whispers of creative tension with actors such as Hugh Grant and Meryl Streep further shaped her reputation, even though none were ever formally confirmed. Family tensions also became public when her brother, Eric Roberts, spoke openly about periods of estrangement, pointing to ego and personality conflicts. Roberts has since admitted she can sometimes come off as blunt, though she insists it's never intentional. In recent years, she's adopted a more grounded presence, returning to the screen in projects like Ticket to Paradise and Leave the World Behind, while keeping her private life firmly out of the spotlight. Now let's talk about an actor whose talent is unquestionable, but whose reputation behind the scenes has been debated for years. Edward Norton. With unforgettable performances in American History X, Fight Club, and Birdman, Norton has built a career defined by brilliance on screen, paired with a reputation for being difficult off it. People who've worked with him often describe him as intensely perfectionistic. While some admire his dedication and high standards, others say that same drive can become controlling and disruptive. One of the most public examples came during his time as Bruce Banner in The Incredible Hulk. When the Avengers moved forward, Marvel chose not to bring him back. Studio president Kevin Feige later explained they were looking for someone who fit a more collaborative, ensemble-friendly environment, widely seen as a subtle critique of Norton's on-set behavior. Earlier in his career, Norton also clashed with writers on Frida, where his uncredited script changes reportedly caused tension and reinforced the idea that he sometimes crosses creative boundaries. Fans remain split. Some see him as a passionate artist pushing for excellence, others as a control freak. Likely, the truth sits somewhere in between. To his credit, Norton has since reflected on the pressures of fame and emphasized the value of collaboration. These days, he's more selective with roles, focusing on producing and environmental activism. His legacy remains complicated, a gifted actor whose genius often comes with controversy. Next up is a celebrity whose real-life behavior became even more famous than his work on screen: Charlie Sheen. His off-screen downfall didn't just damage his reputation, it completely eclipsed the massive talent that once made him one of television's biggest stars. What started as tension behind the scenes quickly erupted into one of the most public and chaotic meltdowns Hollywood has ever seen. His explosive feud with Two and a Half Men creator Chuck Lorre pushed everything into the spotlight. Sheen went on bizarre, profanity-filled rants, publicly insulting Lorre and making shocking statements that left fans speechless. Soon after came his now infamous claims about having Adonis DNA and constantly winning, even as his substance abuse and reckless behavior spiraled out of control, pushing away friends, family, and colleagues. His unpredictable lifestyle, defined by heavy drug use and volatile relationships, including very public clashes with ex-wife Denise Richards, became non-stop tabloid material. In 2011, his firing from Two and a Half Men marked a major turning point, showing just how fast success can unravel. Years later, Sheen admitted in an ITV interview, "It feels awful. I'm not sure how I created such chaos." In recent years, he's focused on sobriety and slowly rebuilding his career through smaller roles and new projects. His story remains a stark reminder of how quickly fame can fall and how hard, yet possible, the comeback can be. Up next is a star whose on-screen charm didn't always line up with his behind-the-scenes reputation: Patrick Dempsey. To millions of fans, he'll always be Dr. Derek McDreamy Shepherd from Grey's Anatomy, the lovable heartthrob who defined an era of primetime television. But according to people who worked on the show, the reality off-camera was far more complicated. Former executive producer James D. Perriott later claimed that several cast members experienced PTSD-like stress due to Dempsey's behavior, describing him as intimidating and difficult at times. As tensions grew, reports surfaced that creator Shonda Rhimes delivered a clear ultimatum: if the situation didn't improve, she would walk away. That standoff ultimately played a role in McDreamy's shocking exit during season 11. Co-stars were also said to be frustrated by Dempsey's complaints about long shooting hours, especially since many of them worked even longer days. Rhimes reportedly witnessed what she considered disruptive tantrums and chose to prioritize a healthy work environment over keeping one of the show's most popular characters. Looking back, Dempsey acknowledged that maintaining such an intense schedule for more than a decade can take a toll, while stressing the importance of gratitude, though some felt that mindset wasn't always evident on set. Since leaving Grey's Anatomy, he's worked to reshape his public image, returning to films, supporting charity racing events, and appearing in projects like Disenchanted and Ferrari. Still, the contrast between McDreamy's warmth and the off-screen turmoil continues to influence how fans see him today. Now here's a name few people ever expected to see on a list like this: Reese Witherspoon. Long known for her bright smile, Southern charm, and all-American appeal, Witherspoon built a career playing lovable, relatable characters. That's why fans were stunned in 2013 when a late-night traffic stop revealed a very different side of the actress. While her husband was being questioned on suspicion of DUI, Witherspoon repeatedly refused to stay in the car and became increasingly confrontational with the police officer. The moment that truly ignited public backlash came when she challenged him with the now infamous question, "Do you know my name?" A sharp contrast to the polished, approachable image audiences associated with films like Legally Blonde and Sweet Home Alabama. Dashcam footage of the exchange quickly went viral, turning the incident into national news. In the aftermath, Witherspoon didn't shy away from accountability. She publicly expressed embarrassment over her actions, admitting, "I was disrespectful to the officer who was just doing his job. The things I said that night don't reflect who I am." While the episode shocked many, Most fans viewed it as an uncharacteristic lapse rather than a true reflection of her character. Since then, Witherspoon has focused on rebuilding trust, pouring her energy into philanthropy, women's advocacy, and growing her production company, Hello Sunshine. Though the arrest remains a notable misstep, it's largely seen as a lesson learned, not a lasting stain on her legacy. Next on our list is a Hollywood icon whose real-life personality surprised many who worked closely with her, Lucille Ball. America fell in love with her for her sharp comedic timing, infectious charm, and legendary role on I Love Lucy. On screen, she radiated warmth and relatability. Off-screen, however, those around her often described someone far more complicated and far less approachable. For years, stories circulated about Ball being curt or dismissive toward people outside her trusted inner circle. One widely shared anecdote claims she refused to speak directly to a flight attendant, choosing instead to communicate only through an assistant. The story stood in sharp contrast to her lovable, down-to-earth television persona. Her strong-willed nature also carried into her family life. Ball reportedly disapproved of her son Desi Jr.'s relationship with actress Patty Duke, believing it could damage his public image, a position many viewed as controlling and emotionally draining. Colleagues frequently described her as demanding, intense, and highly controlling. She was a perfectionist whose relentless drive for excellence sometimes overshadowed warmth or empathy. Even actor Richard Burton wrote in his personal diaries that she was a monster of staggering charmlessness, a striking assessment that highlighted the divide between public adoration and private experience. Despite these accounts, Lucille Ball's legacy remains untouchable. Through endless reruns, documentaries, and films like Being the Ricardos, she's remembered as a trailblazing comedic genius, proof that even the most beloved stars can carry complicated shadows behind the spotlight. Few Hollywood scandals exploded as suddenly or hit as hard as the one involving Jesse James. Once viewed as a rugged, charismatic motorcycle builder with crossover TV fame, James saw his carefully built image collapse almost overnight. The downfall came during his marriage to Sandra Bullock, just as she was filming The Blind Side. Multiple women stepped forward claiming they'd had affairs with him, including tattoo model Michelle "Bombshell" McGee. The revelations stunned the public, devastated Bullock, and quickly turned James into one of entertainment's most reviled figures. What made the situation even worse was how James handled it. Rather than showing real remorse, he brushed off the scandal with a flippant comment. "I cheated on my wife. Guess what? So do millions of other men." The remark ignited even more backlash, reinforcing the idea that he took little responsibility for the damage he caused. His later engagement to Kat Von D only added fuel to the fire. She eventually called it off, later claiming he had been unfaithful yet again. Although James has since admitted to struggles with anger and personal issues, many felt his apologies rang hollow. While Sandra Bullock quietly rebuilt her life, adopting her son and refocusing on her career, James faded from the spotlight. Today, he lives a low-profile life in Texas, concentrating on custom motorcycles and firearms, far from the fame he once had. Finally, let's talk about an Oscar-winning actor whose off-screen personality is just as intense as the characters he's known for playing, Tommy Lee Jones. Famous for his tough, no-nonsense roles, Jones has earned a reputation in Hollywood for being equally blunt and serious in real life. For many fans, the contrast between his commanding screen presence and his real-world demeanor is more surprising than they expect. Jones is notoriously private and has long been described as distant and reserved. He's not someone who enjoys small talk, fan encounters, or long promotional interviews. In fact, he's known for shutting down conversations he finds intrusive and being extremely selective when it comes to signing autographs. One of the most legendary moments tied to his personality came during the filming of Batman Forever, when Jim Carrey later recalled approaching Jones at a restaurant, only to be told, "I hate you. I really don't like you. I cannot sanction your buffoonery." The quote quickly became Hollywood lore, perfectly capturing the clash between Carey's high-energy comedy and Jones's old-school seriousness. Over the years, reports have described him as curt with crew members and uninterested in Hollywood's social scene, reinforcing the idea that his stern attitude isn't just an act. Still, despite the intimidating exterior, Jones remains highly respected for his talent and longevity. Now in his late 70s, he continues to take selective roles while enjoying a quiet life on his Texas ranch, far from a spotlight he never truly wanted. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Hollywood's hidden side, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps the channel grow, and make sure you never miss new videos like this. We've got plenty more stories, breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes reveals on the way. Drop a comment below and tell us which celebrity shocked you the most. You might inspire our next video. See you next time, and stay tuned for more eye-opening Hollywood stories.